So guys, I'm chomping at the bit to talk to you about the major upgrades that happened on Sunday, April 29th. It was interesting because it was the Scorpio full moon, and pardon my camera, it's doing strange things. I'm using my computer camera right now, which is definitely not the best, but it's what I have right now, so I'm just using it. But what's so important is to understand that on Sunday, April 29th, we had a really powerful, I would call it victory for the light. It was as if the forces that were attempting to destroy the vertical staff of the planet, and or not destroy it totally, there's no way they can destroy it, but they were attempting to siphon and suck a whole bunch of energy out of the core of Gaia so that her diamond body could not anchor. And that was it was really intense. We went through, I woke up in the night just in like complete throes of suffocation. It was as if we had to attack to counter attack, to come up against what they were doing. We had to access the core current of Gaia's life force, if you will, right? The core current of her masculine and her feminine, which is her solar masculine and her solar feminine, which link to create the breath of plasma body light that connects back into the diamond sun in Andromeda, right? Which is literally her life's force, comes from that cosmic breath of Gaia, which happens when the core current is cycling its 0 point energy. So basically, all of a sudden at like 1 o'clock in the morning, boom, I was awake and I was inside a dead zone, all the way forced to go into that core current and light that thing up to get out of the dead zone that was coming at me from all sides. It was incredible. I knew I was in the body of Gaia and in my body. So it was just, the portal of of my human self expanding to encompass Gaia, or Earth, actually. Gaia is the word for 7D Earth. So Earth, planet Earth was under some pretty big, massive threat. I'm imagining that they were planning on a terrorist attack and they were trying to siphon energy for their battery so that they could have a ton of energy to create a very cataclysmic, destructive event that they were working on for May Day and the electric peak cycle, which is when the Antichrist forces have the most power. It's like May 6th to May 14th. That's the electric peak cycle. And Beltane is a huge day of power for the forces that do not want the divine feminine on the planet. And they don't want the solar Christ to return, right? They want the Saturn Moon Matrix, which the Saturn Moon Matrix keeps the feminine part of the spiral hijacked into a death-coded technology. So in order to recover the core current and get it circulating, me and whatever special forces off planet that were working, we had to go into the hijacked feminine current and all the death-coded architecture that keeps that feminine current under the control of the Saturn Moon Matrix. And we had to give it back to the sun. We had to return it to the solar matrix. To do that, we had to penetrate through 9 layers of Kundalini barrier to get to the core flame of Earth. We had to transform a ton of phantom pockets of black hole energy. It was 3.5 hours of life against death to get the current recovered in the core of the Earth, to keep Gaia stable. And as always in these events, when there was the attempt of pole shift in 2012, it's so interesting because the forces of anti-life actually assist us in driving evolution forward faster because they create an emergency, right? So you may not have heard this term, but it's the Yahweh matrix that holds pretty much all the antichristed forces on earth are in this Yahweh matrix, which is trying to destroy the masculine feminine bond of the sacred marriage by having tyrannical masculine and enslavement of human consciousness. Now, the diamond matrix is all about liberation of human consciousness, sacred marriage down to the proton and the electron, dancing in the 0 point, which gives us open source connection to the heart of God, right? And to the heart of Andromeda, which is the divine mother of Earth. So I'm a Special Forces Aquaferion human hybrid from Andromeda, an intergalactic liaison that's here to guarantee that any force that tries to destroy Gaia's vertical staff and take her into negative alien takeover will be met with awesome forces from the healing teams, from the Aquaferi races. And we are the ace in the hole that says Ascension will happen. Diamond Sun body will manifest in Earth, right? It's like during the Electric Wars, the negative aliens made the diamond body extinct from this part of the galaxy. And we are now bringing the diamond body back. So they are doing everything they can to block that. And on the night of April 29th, they were attempting a massive, attack on the diamond body architecture. And their attack forced this deeper access to the core current than we've ever had before. So again, it's like when a mother is pregnant in the hospital, right? And they give her the baby's not coming out. So they induce labor. And the baby comes out. So really this is, they induced a greater birth once again. That's not what they want. But in the core and the scheme of things, if you think about every being and every force in the universe as a part of the oneness is birthing itself into a new field through heightening duality. So I think this pretty much covers it. There's a lot more specifics, but it gets super scientific and super analytical. The main thing I want to report is on April 29th, 2018, we had a massive threat and we came through it beautifully. We mobilized the core currents. We restored the breath of Gaia deeper into the heart of Andromeda than it's ever been before. So we actually used the attack to catapult ourselves straight into the heart, deeper into the heart of the ascending timeline. And so this is great news. It was one hell of a night. It was probably the most incredibly difficult night, maybe of my life, actually. It's hard to say. There's so many times when I'm up against it. But this was the longest concentrated up against it that I've ever been, I think, in all these years. Even pole shift was very quick. All we had to do is we had to hold the line, and we had to hold that line for 4 minutes while they blasted us, while the Anunnaki blasted us from Nibiru. And they harnessed the Jerusalem Stargate, used all the galactic center energy through the Jerusalem Stargate to try to collapse the Jerusalem Stargate, which would have caused pole shift. And when it was up, it was up. There was only 5 minutes of force that they had full galactic center access. And so they radiated it, and we had to fight it. We had to call in all the special forces. But that only took 5 minutes. This took 3 hours. It was hellish. But we did it. And we are now in a better position than we were before the attack. So much love, everybody, as we really open to this diamond matrix. And I'm doing healing sessions now, switching out the template of the carbon-based, fear-based template, and really clearing all the death code alignment so that this beautiful merkabah of diamond light can truly occupy our physicality and cleanse the bone, the blood, the skin of all death-coded technologies and restore us to the living light as our divine blueprint was meant to be. So I'm going to stop here, and it's 9:55. I love numbers. So maybe I will stop at 10. No, I'm going to talk a little bit more, okay? So anyway, much love, everybody, and so many blessings. And the body is going through a huge mutation as this diamond body template anchors. It is rewriting and re-encrypting everything from death code into life code. Everything from gender split into sacred marriage. It's huge. So rest a lot, drink tons of water, barefoot on the earth, celebrate the beauty of this earth. And we are rising. We are rising in love. We are rising in light. The earth is rising out of the night. Much love, everyone.